Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta, no matter where in this weird and wonderful world you might be. Today is another 3-point kind of Sunday. That's right, people. Still top of the league. What a first half performance. And it's your opportunity to phone in and talk to the one and only Super Kev. Let's rock and roll, people.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Oh, it may be Oscar night in Los Angeles. However, the glitz and the glamour was put on by the Arsenal in the first half. And talking of glitz and glamour, shining bright once again, my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies! At ease, Super Sunday. At ease.
At ease. Now, squaddies, let me know, is Super Kev freezing on your end or is he just freezing on my end? Because after that piping hot performance, nobody should be freezing on this show today. Good evening to all the usual suspects in the house. We're gonna remove Kev and he's gonna come back in. All right, Greek Commander, good evening. Mark, good evening. A Chief Like Officer. Tammy's here. Well done, Taib, for acknowledging her. Demsek is here. K Marlon is here. Patrick is here. Larry, QA Guna is here. The Gunas Pod is here. What a win. Jesus gave the team a mental. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll talk about that. I don't know if he was our savior today. Trossard was. But good evening, everyone, for joining us in the house. Super Kev is back. Let's get rocking and rolling. Before we do, we have some housekeeping to take care of this morning. Unfortunately, I do not have or this afternoon, no matter where in the world you might be. Let's see. Today's a very special birthday. That's right. If you guys did not know, today's Magic Mike's birthday. They delivered a great gift for his 50th. Turning 50 is magic. Wow. Finally in the 50 club. A super happy birthday to Magic Mike. We salute you and we wish you nothing but great health and happiness and insane adventures. And I look forward to seeing you in Chicago, where we will clink glasses together and celebrate you, Magic Mike. It's Big Magic Mike's, although now he's Little Magic Mike, Kev's birthday.
Happy 50th, mate.
Damn, Kev's freezing. We're going to sort this out. Kev is going to come in by hook or by crook with his phone because we've got the phone in today as well. Whoever wants to join the show and pop in and say hello, I am going to share the link with you as soon as we get Super Kev's comments on the game. Super Kev, let's talk football. Nope. Okay, we'll keep moving. We will keep moving forward. Right, let's talk about the game. It was a superb, sublime, delicious, nutritious first half. And let's be honest, it was set on fire by the man who is back from injury. There are a few names we saw on the team sheet today where we were absolutely delighted to have them back. And one of them, of course, is this fella. My goodness, what a game he had today. Let's see if Super Kev is back and running, up and running. Here we go. Here we go. Don't move. Do not move. Give us your initial assessment on the match, Super Kev.
Well, we started like a house on fire. I mean, it was like a training match at times. We were just so dominant, played some great football, and rightly, took the lead. One, obviously, Martinelli's the first one was the offside was very, very tight. The Arsenal fans let it be known what they think about VAR. I like that. And just a dominant performance first half. Second half, you could understand, take your foot off the gas a little bit because you're so far in front. But it was awesome. You know what? As you said, So it could be a potential banana skin game.
Yeah, I called a
made
draw.
it look easy. And, everyone was a bit worried after conceding 2 goals on Thursday and, not having clean sheets. Our away form is incredible. And another London derby, Soph. Another
Yes.
London derby. 3 goals, clean sheet, back to the top of the league. And we have an opportunity to go into the international break 8 points clear if we beat Palace. So I'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Kev, I mentioned to you on the show last week, and Tom and I talked about it on his show about a week ago, chaos and confusion. Sometimes there's pairings that get these nicknames. Thunder and Lightning, I think, was one at USC when Reggie Bush was playing in the NFL. We've seen it in terms of these emerging partnerships in our team this season. And there's no doubt that Trossard and Martinelli today and in these previous games, the way that we've been playing have caused chaos and confusion. I think Martinelli is the chaos and Trossard is this new player that's come in and just causes defenses confusion. Can you talk to me a little bit about Trossard's performance, especially in the first half? I don't know if you guys saw the records, but Leandro Trossard is the first player in Premier League history to make a hat-trick of assists in the first half of any away game. He was the reason we were up 3-0 at halftime. I would say the major reason. What would it be like to play for him? And as a forward, Kev, with the movement, he and Martinelli, chaos, confusion, we're here for it.
Yeah, if you remember rightly, Soph, when Eddie was up top, Eddie plays on the shoulder. He likes to play up there on his own, but he doesn't drift wide as much. Trossard, you could see he's comfortable up as a number 9. He's comfortable as a number 10. He's comfortable, especially on the left-hand side, moving out to that left so we can cut in. And you could see Martinelli then can run into the space, can play number 9 then because he knows Trossard can do the job out there. It must be a defender's nightmare because at times both of them are out there. So the centre-backs like to mark players. They've got nobody to mark. You're causing chaos and confusion. That's what these guys do. And you know what? Martinelli, rightly so, Trossard moves out. He goes in the centre. That's exactly the second goal, isn't it? The second goal is Trossard goes out, little bit of skill, but the cross, let me tell you about the cross. The cross was stood up to the back post, but it died on Anthony. It actually died on him. So what usually goes up so we could get up and head it out, it died on him in there. That's why all Martinelli done was take a backward step and head it in. I think if he would have tried to get at him, he would have knocked him over for it to be a penalty anyway. So I'm telling you now, we look at that January window when we talk about bringing players in, players who are going to make a difference. So this Leandro Trossard, I'm telling you, is incredible. He really is. What a difference he's made to our team. And you know what? I didn't even expect him really to be involved today. Found out him and Jesus were in the squad and they both come on, do well, but Trossard was outstanding. Breaking records at the Arsenal already. Brilliant.
It's not easy to break records at the Arsenal. We saw how long it took a striker to break Cliff Baston's record, and then we got lucky, really, Thierry Henry. It's not easy to break records at the Arsenal. Now, albeit some may of you think it's a small record, that type of first half, that's not small. That is a massive performance from a player who has Premier League experience. And Kev, when you look at, and I don't want to compare him to Mudryk, because Mudryk could go on to be a superstar in this game and probably will be. But when you're talking about instant gratification, capitalizing on a moment, because sports moves so fast and these Premier League teams are going to spend so much money to refuel for next season and the season after and after, you've got to capitalize now. Look, we never thought it would take 20 years to wait to win a Premier League. Kev, this signing is right now, if we do go on to win the Premier League, could be one of the most significant signings in Arsenal history. Am I over exaggerating?
No, you're not over exaggerating. You're telling the truth, and that's facts. Let's be honest. If Trossard wasn't there, we'd be struggling. Let's be honest, Soph. I'm not saying we wouldn't win the games, but when Eddie's injured, the dynamic will be totally different, because then you'll have to put Martinelli through the middle, and then we won't probably have the dynamism or the know-how. I think that's what we got in Trossard. It's the know-how, knowing when to move, when to drift, when to change, interchange. At times I saw him, he's a striker. I saw him doing a Jesus when he was back tackling in our own box. Again, that mentality of team is really working for us, Soph. And I think you make a really good point. I think if we win the title, this will be a key signing for the team moving forward, because he's been involved in a lot of goals.
Yes, he really has. And real quick, hit that like button. There's 300 of you in live chat right now. I'm sure more will be joining. 48 likes is unacceptable on a day like this. We got a bonus show here with Super Kev. If you do not get these likes up to the amount of people or close that are in chat, we will not do the phone in. I repeat, we will. Teacher Sophie's here. Detention for everyone. Stand in the corner. Come on, Vincent Vieira. Let's get the troops rolling. Hit that like button, people. If you love that first half performance, don't be a miser with your little fingers. Get them clicking. Kev, everyone's talking about I talked about the chaos and the confusion. What about a lot of the fans are writing and saying, I was so much happier to see Martinelli on the left. There was still a lot of interchanging. I felt like the weak link today was Saka, but again, he doesn't have to be the superstar every single game. And I have one pet peeve, only one. I don't know if you have any, but I've only got one.
I got one, but go on. What's yours?
Okay, my pet peeve is that, and it's just, it's nitpicking really. I just wish Arteta would have subbed Saka earlier if I had to pick something. There you go. I felt like he wasn't having the best game. He was a little bit over trying when we went 3-0 because he wanted to get in on the goals and the glory. And I just felt, you know what? Don't even bring him out in the second half.
I thought he done all right.
And he had a terrible game. I'm just saying, of the front three, he just wasn't the star today. And I like that. That's fine.
Again, like you said, he doesn't have to be. Whereas normally we're leaning on him, he doesn't have to be. It was Trossard and it was Martinelli's day today.
Yeah.
Odegaard pops up with another goal. We'll take that. How many times has Saka come up with the goods for us? So do you know what? I like it being shared out. And yeah, he didn't have the greatest of games, but you know what? He wasn't poor. He kept that Anthony on toast. We kept the ball down that left-hand side to move them around. And some of the interchange of play, especially first half, was delightful. So yeah, he wasn't at his very best, but you know what? The team were awesome. They were awesome, especially in the first half.
Agree. Liz says, I absolutely adore the Highbury Squad post-match pod with all the squaddies. This makes us happy. We're creeping up to 400 live. Keep them coming, people. Now, this is a stat that I did not know, and I will verify it before I give stats for the game. But Yirki, I think I've pronounced your name correctly, we're the only London team who's beaten all other London teams away without conceding a single goal in the Premier League. Is that right?
So far.
So far. Yeah, not history. Yeah.
Because we've got a few more to go. Is it one more we got? West Ham?
No, Crystal Palace next week.
No, that's at home. This is away.
West Ham in April.
Yeah, we've got West Ham to come. So, look, again, if you're gonna win title or you're gonna get close, you're gonna have to break records. As Newman says.
Oh, yeah, we have Chelsea.
No, but that's at home.
That's at home, you guys. Yeah.
We're talking about away. And listen, our record is great home and away, yeah. But away from home is special, real special.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, these are London derbies. It's not a joke. You know, it's like Paul Ross on TalkSport said to me, "Your running's easy." I'm like, "We got 2 London derbies in the March, and we've got 2 more London derbies in the April, and those 2
that's the hardest of all.
The hardest ones.
The pride of London. You know how much rides on it. You know, in London, so that's why it's harder for a London team to win the title.
Yeah. Okay, let's get stuck into some quick fire. Let's do player ratings.
I'll say the thing.
Sorry, Kev.
No, I'll do it at the end. I want to do it at the end.
All right. Okay, cool. Okay, 400 plus of you in live chat. Stick where you are. We're going to give you our player ratings, and then we open up the forum, and we will bring in a few of you in a quick fire Ask Kev questions round.
If the likes are up.
And we need the
minimum 50%. Minimum, guys.
Yes. All right. So Chief Like Officer Tammy, please do alert us. Super Kev, let's get rolling here with the players. You first. Who's up first, Kev?
Ramsdale is up first. I'm going to give Ramsdale a 7. I thought there were times that he done things good. There were times that he started to do that pass at the back, outside of his foot, Salford, it got cut out in the first half. But he did make a couple of really good saves. And came out and he took charge of a good few crosses. I'll give him a 7, Sophie, because you know what? He was quite instrumental in getting us moving some of the times where he's got the ball and his quick distribution. So I'm not going to hold it against him that he was a little bit shaky at times, but that's one of the reasons why he doesn't get more than 7. So fair play.
Yeah. Steve, I think that he was just trying to make Matty Turner feel at home. Didn't want to come in and have too much of an amazing game. Do you know what I mean?
Union, eh? Goalkeepers Union.
Yeah, he was sloppy a couple of times, but let's not forget also he was a hero against Bournemouth last week. This is what playing football and being in a team is all about. Last week, your hero was Reece Nelson. This week, your hero was Trossard. Last week, your hero was Ramsdale. This week, another hero for you could be Thomas Partey. I'll give him a 6.5, Super Kev. Not his best game, but you know what? He kept the clean sheet. And I'm going to up it actually to 7 because we kept a clean sheet. Still made a couple of good saves at the end.
True. That's fair play. Let's get on to Ben White, Soph.
All right. Benjamin White, who I think has, since he's kind of reclaimed, if you say, Kev, his first place back, just brilliant. I love this guy. I love his passion. I love the movement that he brings to the team. And I think that he offers something completely different than Tomiyasu. That's the beauty of this new Arsenal 2.0, isn't it? That we have options depending on who we're playing against. Benjamin White, for me, is one of the revelations of the season. I love him. He gets a solid 7 today.
Ben White, for me, gets an 8. I think the pressure was really on us today. Looking at Fulham at the Cottage, pressure was on, potential banana skin game, and Ramsdale and the back four came through with flying colours. Love the way we defended. Didn't really Solomon, who has been their top goal scorer so far in a stretch of games, didn't really see himself. Didn't really see him. Ben White's quick enough to catch him on the outside. He couldn't go there, so we had to keep cutting inside into traffic. And I thought Ben White done really well. Kept supplying Saka as well. And again, sometimes you don't always get it going on one side, but you got to take what they give you, and you got to do it on the other side, and that's what we've done. I'm going to give him an 8, so I'm going to give him an 8. Clean sheet.
Have I lowballed him, Kev? A 7?
I just think because of the clean sheet, so and because we've been teetering, I think we've got to give these defenders a little bit of props today.
Okay, you know what? I am a woman who is never afraid or admits that she's wrong, and I'm going to up it to an 8. Kev, you should run for office. I would vote for you. You just convinced me. Who's next?
Sophie, I've got to tell you, when you said 7, I put 8 down right beside my 8, right? Because I knew my spiel was going to do the business, right?
I
My
love
spiel
it.
was going to do the business. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to the other fullback in Zinchenko first. I'm not going to do the centre backs yet. I'm going to go Zinchenko. And again, Sophie, this guy, he had his hands full with Reed on the right-hand side, but he dealt with things perfectly, moved into midfield, kept us ticking over. Zinchenko gets an 8 from me. Again, got a clean sheet, Sophie. First half performance alone, we were just so dominant. Zinchenko, 8 for me.
So I think for me, he gets an 8. And what I loved about today, Kev, which I think was seeping into his game a little bit too much, maybe overly confident, is the cheap giveaways. He really gave the ball away today. And I thought that against Bournemouth, it was a little dodgy in particular. Just an efficient, professional performance, not over the top, and managed his emotions brilliantly today. I think sometimes there's a case of maybe getting too high, you know. You don't want him to be too low because you want him to be himself. I know you captained a young Wayne Rooney, you know, and you had to manage those. There's just certain players that get really high in a game. And for me, I just thought he was the perfect professional today, gets an 8.
He was excellent. He was excellent. I'm going to go with the 2 centre backs together, because I think we've got to deal with them together, because they had their hands full in a Mitrovic who can cause anybody problems. Let's be honest, Soph. We know the long ball could cause problems. We know the physicality that Mitrovic brings. But I thought our 2 centre halves dealt with Mitrovic perfectly. I didn't. Obviously, both boxes as well. Gabriel comes up with the goal in the opposition box. I thought Saliba was outstanding as well. Defended properly, got the clean sheet. These 2, Sophie, get 9 for me. They get a 9. Dealt with whatever was thrown at them. They get a 9.
I thought they were both brilliant for the first time in a long time together. I say long time, maybe 5 or 6 games. I felt like for a lot of the first half of the season, Saliba was the star. And then post World Cup, and even before that a little bit, maybe Gabriel has been the star. Today, they came together like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, they were just deliciously sublime. Mitrovic, I called cousin George and I said, how many times have you heard Mitrovic's name in this first half? Not much. And he's a bully, and he's a very dangerous player, and a player that Arsenal centre-backs in the past have found it really difficult to manage, haven't they, Kev?
Yep.
You know, Senderos still sees Drogba in his nightmares. You know, players like you could even go back like further when Vermaelen and Koscielny just struggling with physicality, right? We're totally different. I say 9s as well. Just brilliant.
Brilliant stuff. Right, we're moving into midfield, Soph. And I've got to say, I'm going to let you start on the general. Thomas Partey, Soph.
Okay, so 600 of you almost in live chat now. We're getting close to the half mark, okay? So keep it going. I will open up the phone lines, bring you into the show if Super Kev is happy with those numbers. Super Kev, I don't know what to say about him, but other than just commanding the engine, the nucleus. I thought in the first half, he and Trossard were sensational, totally dictating the game. And once again, proving how important he is to this Arsenal team. He's come into his own. He's started to boss games. He's the Thomas Partey we've been wanting to see. And we've seen a lot of this Thomas Partey this season. You know, the most consistent season he's had so far in an Arsenal shirt. Absolutely brilliant. And I would love to know who is better than him in his position in the Premier League this season. And I would even argue Europe. I swear, if these awards are done properly and we end up winning this league, and even if we don't, some of our players need to be up there and in there for gongs, because they have and we have some of the best this season. And if you just vote on a season and not someone's collective career, then we
Someone's
might find
name-
some of our boys
someone's
winning.
name.
Exactly. Sorry, Kev. I went on a turn there, but
No,
he
it's
was
all
just
right. It's all right.
outstanding, man.
What do you give him?
I'm going to give him a 10.
So I love
Bosh.
it. Well, I'll tell you what, I was giving Thomas Partey 9.5, right? Solely because, you know me, I don't go over 10, but I was saving a 10 for you know who.
Uh-huh.
I thought Thomas Partey was the second best player on the pitch by a country mile. I thought it was quite level, but because of what your forward done, I thought Thomas Partey was absolutely outstanding. So do you know what? I could give the same as you now. Now you've convinced me so
Bosh.
to give him a 10, right? I'm going to give him a 10, but my man who got man of the match is going to get a 10 asterisk. You know what I
Okay.
mean? He's going to get a 10 asterisk.
Do you know why? Maybe because, and I know it's the striker union and stuff, right, Kev? But you're getting a lot of love for the shirt, by the way. People can't even stand themselves. They're loving it so much. Partey, 2 halves of brilliance.
Yeah.
The other maybe 1. Okay, let's go. Who's next?
Next is, we're going to go with Martin, Captain Odegaard, who I thought worked his socks off, was outstanding. And if anybody watches the first half, you see he's the one who has to try and find the killer pass. We may not always get it, but you've always got to go for it. You've always need somebody to go for it to try and make that pass. And you know what? Odegaard, for me, outstanding. And what a finish. Do you know, composure. This young man, who's our captain, he may not be the loudest, but you know what? His ability speaks louder than anything. What a finish. Odegaard gets a 9 for me, Soph. He gets a well-deserved 9 today. Fantastic.
Kev, I thought he was just sublime. I know the opposition was different, the game was different, the setup's different, the players that we had playing midweek was different. But I did say on that post-game show against Sporting Lisbon, you start to miss what you don't have. And what you see in Martin Odegaard, not only do Kev and I totally respect, and we say this often, when he works in the shadows, today he was in the spotlight. And I know most Arsenal fans love it when he plays that type of game. I love it when he plays both. But today, that third goal, he deserved it. And he's still, Kev, striker, he still had work to do when the ball came to him.
Oh, yeah, still had 2 players to beat and a goalkeeper. But the quick touch, the shift, and what an emphatic finish, Soph. I mean, hey, what is he on? How many goals is he on now, squaddies? You know, he's been questioned left, right, and centre. We questioned him first game of the season, Soph. Why don't you pull the trigger?
Yeah,
he's definitely shutting us up, isn't he? What a fantastic performance as a captain. And what do you give him, Soph?
I give him a 9.5.
9.5.
I thought he was outstanding. And I think now we have 3 players in double digits for the season. I don't know if... Oh, here we go. Well done. He's on 10 goals, yes.
Well, if somebody said to you, Soph, Martin Odegaard's going to get 10 goals all season, you'd have snapped their hand off.
I would have bitten it off like a piranha.
Exactly. We've got 11 league games to go, guys. And he's on 10 goals.
He's been so outstanding.
Could we ask for 15, please, Martin? Being greedy, could we?
Could we crank it up and
yeah,
up?
we've got to crank it up, but no, outstanding and well deserved, Soph. Next one is Granit Xhaka, who I thought, Soph, before you get on. I thought he had a really good game in the shadows, kind of thing. Although we were dominant, he was in the shadows doing all the mucky stuff that goes unnoticed, the tracking back, the winning the ball back, the simple passing, the quick angles. I thought Xhaka was outstanding. There was just one move.
Ah, I know. It would have been such a great goal.
I'm going to leave it to you, Soph. I'll leave that to you.
Okay, so basically, that move would have, like Thomas Partey's volley against Tottenham. It could have been one of the greatest goals ever. Like that goal was just so sublime. Our movement today, our passing.
That would have been another similar, not saying it is, but Jack Wilshere's goal.
Wilshere and Giroud, the final.
That move was just there.
Yes. It was very I think you can go back and even, I would say the 91 team more than the 89 team, Kev. Very underrated for playing a little bit of champagne football here and there. Very like the 1-0 boring Arsenal, George Graham stuck, right? But that team, I think, played some sweet football. The Invincibles, of course, in the Champagne Wenger style in the first 10 years. I'm not sure we ever saw champagne football under Emery. And I was a staunch supporter of his.
We saw champagne football second half against Spurs.
We did. 4-2. Brilliant.
Yeah.
The greatest game under Emery.
We saw some champagne football.
Yeah. So for me, I just think I don't know where I was going with the whole thing, but Xhaka, if we get back to him, in the first half, I thought he was brilliant. I thought his movement was great, but what was lacking in his game was what he did with his final decision making. And I think that's what was a little bit poor. I think the rest that he's had here and there has been really smart by the gaffer.
Yes,
and for me, Xhaka worked in the shadows in the second half, but in the first half, I thought he was screaming that he wanted to have a better impact for the team. And I thought, for me, he gets an 8.
Yeah, and I think eight's fair, Soph. I'm going to give Xhaka an 8. Xhaka would have got a 9 if he would have just stuck that chance away.
Yeah.
First time, put it in the corner. What a move, what a goal. But he took a touch. And you don't get that much time in the box, unfortunately. Sophie, you don't get the chance. So Xhaka gets an 8. Good game. Strong game. But, we always want more, don't we? We always want a little bit more. Right. Let's go for Bukayo Saka. Soph, your thoughts on Saka?
Okay, so this will be quick. we all love him. We're in love with him. He's just the man. He's the star boy. It wasn't his best game today. And what I love is that he doesn't have to be under pressure all the time. And it's as simple as that. He was good. He had some nice moments. I didn't feel like he was at his best today. I would have liked to have seen him subbed a lot earlier, considering we were up 3-0 at half time. But still contributes to the team. He gets a 7 for me. Today, Super Kev.
Well, I give him a 7.5, Soph. I thought what he had to do, he had to keep Anthony busy, because Anthony is one of those fullbacks. He loves to get forward. You never saw him forward even as a threat today. Saka completely shut down that side with Ben White. And if I'm going to give Ben White the 8 with the little bit extra because of the clean sheet, I'm going to put a little bit on top of your 7. I'm going to give him a 7.5 today. And I thought he done well. He held it when he needed to. Got fouled quite a bit yet again, Soph.
He was marked to death today.
Yeah, he got some rough treatment at times today because he's so dangerous. But listen, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Wasn't his greatest game, but most of the time, he's like an 8, isn't he? So
yeah.
7 or 7.5 is kind of down for Saka. But listen, it's still way above average. So well done, Saka. Not your best, but you still were decent. You still were decent.
Kev, I'm discovering now that Matty K is giving everyone a 10. I was wondering what he was doing, but he's literally giving every single player a 10, which is lovely.
Well, do you know what? That's fine, because this was a banana skin game. This was a game where a lot of people said we could drop points here.
I thought we'd get a draw.
Yeah.
You said we'd get the win. And I was really worried. I was worried about this Marco Silva team. And listen to what I don't want to hear, Gooner Nation. All right? I do not want to hear that Paulinho wasn't playing today. Oh, they didn't have their best player. Stop. The
it
madness.
wouldn't have made no difference.
No, not the way we were playing in that first half.
It wouldn't have made no difference.
No difference. Look, listen, I mean, if they just couldn't, they couldn't deal with us. Who's next, Super Kev?
Gabriel Martinelli, so.
I want to adopt him and Saka. I want to wrap them up in cotton wool, put them on my windowsill, water them every day, and just keep them safe from the world. And what can I say?
Can we do that at the end of the season?
Yeah, sure, fine. This picture, I put it up all the time, but I love it. It's like, welcome to my planet. Martinelli's joy is our joy. He is such a special player. And he came under a lot of criticism. And since then, what's he scored? 6 goals in 7, or I don't know, 5 in 6. He's scored. He's performed. He's loving playing with Trossard. It's like, Mikel Arteta gave him a new toy, and in the absence of Jesus, and he has been shining and he's loving it. He puts the team on his shoulders. He looked up more today. He passed the ball quicker today. He was smarter with his decisions today. It felt like they watched the tape from that Bournemouth game or from the Europa League game as well, and they all learned lessons. Great training sessions, great coaching in the week, because everyone came out putting in a performance. I don't care about performances personally at this point in the season, but he gets a 9.5.
Oh, nice one, Soph. 9.5. Listen, I'm going to second that. I'm going to give him a 9.5 as well. He's becoming a match winner, and he's becoming a real difference maker in our side. He's run for the goal that was offside, the way he played it, and then darted in behind, just ever so slight, maybe a toe offside, but it's that willingness to run in behind to cause a problem. So hard for defenders to defend against, and he gets his goal. Sophie gets in there, he gets in the box. Header, back post, Martinelli, and he plays on the left, ends up in the centre forward position and scores on the back post. Hey, listen, I've got to give this young man credit. You could see he drifts. He knows the right time to drift now as well. I thought he was excellent today, and I give him a 9.5. Like I said, Odegaard got a 9.5 from Soph. He gets a 9.5 from me, and again, he must be a nightmare to mark.
Kev.
Because 1 minute you got him, the next minute he's away.
He's a road runner. Meep, meep.
But it's not even that. So because when Trossard comes out, remember he interchanges and he drifts. Sometimes he ends up with Saka on the opposite side. So what do you do when you've got Saka and Martinelli? It's a nightmare. So
yes,
very good intelligence. The football intelligence is coming in this young man now, and another goal. He's on double figures. So 9.5. He gets.
A lot of people were asking Kev about who signed Martinelli. Well, Martinelli came.
Well, let's be honest. Martinelli was signed by Edu. Edu was the one who took the chance on Martinelli.
8 million.
Oh,
wow.
6, wasn't it? Or something?
Was it 6? I thought it was 8.
It was 6?
Either way, I
tell you what, we give
100.
you an extra 2. We give you an extra 2. We give you an extra 2 mil. No problem.
How many £100 million players do we have potentially brewing here?
Do you know what, Sophie? Do you remember, was it 18 months ago? We talked about what assets
You were right, Kev. 6 million. 6. Yeah.
What assets do we have, Soph? When we couldn't sell a player, Soph.
Shall I show you, just to answer your question, do you want to see the assets we have now? I'll just rattle them off real quick. You ready?
Yeah, we'll save them out of the match.
Yeah, here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. And here's 4. 5. Just counting them for everybody. Stay with me, everyone.
6, 7, 8.
Still get something for him, let's be honest.
9, 10, 11. Keep
But
going.
and
So
then you go here,
12,
right? He's an asset. He'd go for
13,
something. Hello.
14, 15.
That's all the pictures I've got for today, but here's another one.
16.
Oh, did I miss one? I think so.
17. You know, and let's be honest, Sophie. Let's be honest. When's the last time we could say our players are assets?
It's been a long time.
A long time. That's why it's always been the players. It's always the players. The players have to turn up. The players have to do the business. I know the buck stops with the manager. Of course it does. But the manager has to get the players playing. He has to get them crossing the white line and doing the business. And now we've got that. Look at the value of our squad start to rise. Win the title. That puts another 10 million on each.
Totally.
Right.
Okay. All right. Who's next, Kev?
There's one man of the moment. Was out with a groin injury. Leandro Trossard comes in today, Sophie. And what a performance. What a performance. I thought he was outstanding. Not only did he set 3 goals up, he was unlucky not to score on a couple of occasions. He gave their defenders absolute nightmares. This guy is tailor-made for Arsenal. It's tailor-made for what Mikel Arteta wants to do. And to break records in this Arsenal team and do something that no other Arsenal player has done, or player in the Premier League for that matter, has done in the first half. Not even a De Bruyne has done this. Trossard's done it. Absolutely incredible, Sophie. I thought he was very unlucky. He didn't get a pass from Martinelli when we made that move and Martinelli got through. And he could have just slid it to the side and give Trossard a potential goal. But that's me being picky. I thought Trossard was outstanding. He gets a 10 asterisk from me. So, and the asterisk means you could, anybody else want to put on, you could put on what you want. He was man of the match for me.
When you get 3 assists in the first half and your team wins, it goes up 3-0, and you have that type of performance coming back off an injury, and you're new to the squad, you haven't even been there 3 months. You just feel like an Arsenal player. Alexis Sanchez was probably the last player for me that just came in terms of gets you on your feet type of play. I think Trossard, he got me on my feet a couple times today. It's not because he's as flashy as Alexis. It's just what he does with the ball. He's so smart. I love to watch him play. I love watching him play football. And
you see, Sophie, he tries to pick people out when he gets the ball wide. He's not just hitting the area. He tries to pick people out, which is absolutely maybe gets that a little bit from Brighton, where they try and find people in the box, but it works for us.
And how much did we get him for, you guys? Was it 28? No, it was more than that, wasn't it?
Was it 30? Was it 30?
Let me find out right now. Trossard transfer Arsenal fee. $24.97 million.
Dollars. Oh, what's that? 22?
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway, Soph. It's
22.
a giveaway. Thank you, Brighton. It's a giveaway.
Thank you, Brighton. Yeah, it was unbelievable. All well said from Super Kev, and we love it. We love him. 740 of you in live chat. It feels like we have hit the mark, Kev, to bring in some callers. But before we do...
How many likes?
Give us the final like, Tammy. Give us the tally here. Kev wants to see it with his own eyes.
How many likes?
Let's bring them out. Bring them out. Bring up the big hitters. Let's see it. Let's see it. It's an absolute steal. It's true. I mean, yeah, Jorginho was a steal. I mean, he didn't even have to come on today. Let's have a look. Moving slowly here. Anyone give us the number? No? Trust the process? Yes, it's the players. Yeah, we know that. Give me the number. Give me the number. Give me. Don't make me go and look for myself. 376 or 388. And there's 730. We've done it.
Yeah, we
All
take
right,
that.
take it all
Brilliant.
day long.
Well done.
While I
Well done.
share the link, okay, get ready, you guys. It's a first come, first serve basis. But while I do
And
that,
what are we giving the subs? We're giving the subs a 7.
we're
They're
going to
all
give the
getting
subs a
7.
7, and the gaffer we can do at the end, Kev, before we say.
Yeah, we do the gaffer
Make
and the
the
fans at the end.
and the fans, yeah, make them wait for it. Let's bring in the birthday boy for a quick hello. Magic Mike, just looking as Slim Jim as ever.
What's up?
Magic, how are you, bud?
Squatty.
Happy birthday to you, mate. Happy
Kev.
50th.
Thank
God
you,
bless.
thank you. What? No better way of spending your. I mean, I'm going to have more 50th birthdays if this is how they're going to go.
Hey, listen, you got 2 months of this, Mike.
Can I turn 50 every week? I mean,
you got 2 months of 50.
I do, and I'm back in the city where it all started this season, Orlando, Florida, where we put a hurting on Chelsea, and we've been top of the league ever since. Are we not having fun yet, or what?
We're having tons of fun, and we want you to have fun on your birthday. And just make sure that you guys are safe and sound out there as you have shenanigans and fun. Give our love to the Orlando Gooners, the Fort Lauderdale Gooners, all the Arsenal America Gooners, and
Gold Coast is in town. Everyone kind of flocked here to as an honor to help me share this day. And Arsenal did their part. My son is here, which means the world to me. And and it wouldn't have been a complete celebratory day without being able to salute the two of you. Two of my favorite Gooners in the entire world, and thanks for having me on. And I look forward to hearing from the round table today.
Yes, well, thank you, Magic, and we'll talk later. Lots of love and happy 50th birthday to you. You don't look a day over 38.
The best I've felt since I was 26, I think. So yeah.
Well,
you're looking amazing.
Listen,
yeah, why do you have red lips? Why do you have red lips?
Oh, I'm because I'm drinking vodka and Gatorade Zero, and that. So yeah, I guess. I've also started a new phase in my life where I'm wearing lipstick now. I was going to save that for another show.
All right, we'll say goodbye. See you, Mike. Love you.
Take care, Magic. Bye, mate.
That's Magic. Okay, let's bring Ugo into the stream. Whoa, that's your ceiling there. We don't want to look at your ceiling. Where are you, Ugo? You just having a... There he is.
Yeah. Morning, guys.
Morning. Where in the world are you calling from?
Canada.
Canada. Our Canadians love a phone in, Super Kev. Okay, what's your question and your comment to Super Kev?
So my question for Super Kev would be, what would you want to do to the team come next season based on how we're looking right now? Like, how many players do you think we need? And what do you think we need to change? And for the comments, I'll go with, what do you think about Mikel Arteta so far?
Well, I've always been a champion of Mikel Arteta. I always wanted to give him time when others didn't. But listen, everybody has an opinion. And, time always tells, Ugo. What would I do with the team and what do we need? I still think we're going to lose a couple of players, I believe, come the end of the season. I think we need 5 players for next season.
5?
Why?
That's quite
why?
A lot.
No, but think about it. Why? Because we're going to be in the Champions League. And the games are going to be midweek, Saturday. So, all the players are going to want to play. It's not like the Europa where, we're going to have to, we can make 6 or 7 changes. This is the Champions League. Everybody wants to play because this is the big time. So I think we need a much bigger squad with more quality players. That's why I think we need 5 players, especially if we lose 2. We might just need 6.
But if you're going with 5, but if you're going with 5 players, would that include letting go of the likes of Nelson as well, or is that inclusive of him?
It all depends. It could be inclusive of him, but if we re-sign Nelson, that's going to be like a new signing. But I still think even with Nelson there, we need 5 players because I think we need to keep the quality at such a high level right now. I think it's got to be really important that we recruit well. Really
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
All
Based on
right.
that, 'cause I cannot see your point on that.
All right, Ugo, thanks so much for calling in,
Thank
and we
you.
appreciate you. Take care, stay safe
Cheers,
out
Ugo.
there. And I'm
Cheers.
going to bring, let's bring Elliot in now. Elliot, let us know where in the world you are calling from. I think you might be in Canada as well.
Indeed, Toronto. You're right, Sophie.
You're through to Super Kev.
Hi, Elliot.
Salute, sir. Salute, Super Kev. Salute, Super Kev. Daddies, squaddies. Yes, indeed. My question to you today: do you see Gabriel Jesus as our long-term striker option, or do you see someone else coming in as someone to take the role going forward long-term?
A great question. Do you know what I see? I see the ability and the option to be able to alternate and change, because I think if we're going to be a serious team, we're going for all the competitions. I think just to have one main striker isn't enough. I think we need more than that. We're getting linked with Osimhen, aren't we?
Yes.
And players like that. Hey, he can play. Jesus can play wide. Martinelli could play left, middle. Trossard could play middle on the left. He can play as a number 10. I think the more options we have as a football team, I think is so important. So I can't say Jesus is going to be our number 9 all the way through as a striker, but Jesus has a massive part to play whether we buy another striker or not, just because of his skill set.
Elliot, and a follow-up from you before we bring someone else in. Go ahead.
Yes, of course. Do you believe we will be Premier League champions this year?
Do I believe? I want us to be. I believe we can do it. But the bottom line is, Elliot, there's 11 games to go. We're going to find out.
All right.
Elliot, brilliant stuff. Thanks for calling in, and we will talk to you again soon, Elliot. Come on, let's see if we got someone who isn't from Canada calling in. Evgeny is here. Evgeny, welcome to the show. Let everyone in the world know where you're calling from. I think I do know where you're calling from.
Hello, everyone. I'm calling from Moscow.
Welcome to you. Good evening, Evgeny. You're through to Super Kev. Over to you.
How are you? You okay?
Yes, I'm pretty good.
Good man.
Trying to keep myself intact.
Good man. Good
lad.
I think this is a very important question. Manchester fans have been claiming that Casemiro is the best defensive midfielder in this league. I would love to ask you, Kevin, if you think this. And to keep it fully factually unbiased, I would love to add that he's been sent off against Southampton today.
Yeah, listen, Casemiro is a great player. I covered him for a few seasons when he was at Real Madrid. He's excellent. And Manchester United fans didn't realize what type of player they've got until he came in there. But to say he's the best defensive midfielder in the league right now, when the Arsenal sit at the top and Manchester City sits second, I think is a little bit disingenuous of Manchester United fans. But that's typical Manchester United fans. They're gonna try and shout for their player. But I just think you watch today, you watch the way Thomas Partey rules the midfield. Rodri, the way he rules the midfield for Manchester City as well. I think at the moment it's a toss-up between those two. But I say Thomas Partey on his day. I think Thomas Partey brings more to the table than some of the others. But Casemiro is very good. So
True.
I'm not gonna downplay Casemiro as not a good player.
A quick follow-up for you, Evgeny, before we let you go. Do you have another quick one for Super Kev?
If Jesus starts, who would you prefer with him on the left, Trossard or Martinelli?
Good one.
Martinelli's got to. Don't forget, first half of the season, chaos, confusion, and the Cape Crusaders. They were going on with all sorts. Martinelli was exchanging with Jesus. Look, the business. But if Jesus is going to start, I think we still need that pace to go beyond as well. So hey, we could always change it and bring Trossard on, but I'd play Martinelli.
All right, brilliant stuff. Evgeny, thank you so much for your kind call. Stay safe out there, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Happy birthday to Magic Mike as well.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
very sweet. Cheers.
Cheers.
Take care, Evgeny. Take care. All right, who's up next through to the Arsenal icon? That is, I'm sure he is not in Canada, and he's definitely not in Russia. I do believe this is Demsek, and Demsek is one of our OGs. Demsek in the house. Yo, yo, yo. Floating in someone's living room. Can't hear you. Unmute yourself. Can't hear you. All right, we're going to remove Demsek for a minute. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
I've unmuted myself.
There you go. All right.
You see, I've muted
Hi,
myself.
Demsek. Hi, mate.
Hi, Super Kev. I'm just trying to be polite, make sure I don't talk over somebody, so I put the mute on, and then, you know, with these grey hairs, you forget to turn it off. So, yeah, I've just moved somewhere else in the house because my Springer's trying to say to me, I need feeding, and she's been barking as well. So,
well, what's your question for Super Kev?
Right, Super Kev. Why is it that we seem to be able to keep clean sheets away from home, but we seem a bit leaky at home?
That's a good one.
Because the onus when you're at home is to attack. When the onus is on you to attack, you've got to commit more players forward, so you leave more gaps if the opposition break your press. But when you're away from home, the opposition, their onus, because they've got all the home fans, their onus is to attack you. So when they come and attack you, you do the same to them. You then start to pick through them. And as you see, Fulham in the first half didn't know what to do because as they press, we beat the press and we're right in on them. So then they defend and then they can't get out. So sometimes it works that way. We seem to be better away from home, a lot more solid away from home. And listen, fair play to Miko and the boys.
I thought Fulham's press first part of the game was actually quite good. It kept us back in our own half for quite a while, and then you just can't keep it up, and our game got going. And then the game turned.
That's the thing. You can press, you can press. It's when Arsenal start to work you out where the press is coming from. Once they work out where the press is coming from, you have had it because they keep picking you off. And let me tell you something, it's hard chasing that ball around because the ball don't get tired.
All right, great stuff. Demsek, do you have a quick follow-up for Kev, or are you good to go?
Yeah, quick follow-up. Lots of rumours about Declan Rice and that maybe he's verbally agreed to come to Arsenal. What are your views on that sort of situation? As a player, does your agent talk to you behind the scenes?
Well, as a player, your agent or an intermediary will be doing the talking. Obviously, they can't speak to the player, and because that will be against the rules. But you know, Declan Rice is a very sought after commodity. I think Declan Rice in our squad makes us a stronger squad, and getting him in the team, I don't think there'll be any problems him integrating into our team because he can play so many different positions, and you know he even can play centre half. So. Again, having somebody like that, full England international starter for the England team in our squad makes us so much better.
So do you see him as the backup or replacement for Partey or the replacement for Xhaka?
He is a player who will come into the squad, and it's up to Mikel Arteta what he picks. Don't get me on that one, Demsek. You're not going to get me on that one, mate.
All right. Great stuff from Demsek.
Cheers,
thanks
Demsek.
so much for phoning in. And thanks, as always, for your support. Next time you come on, make sure you have your coins ready to share for everyone. All right. We'll see you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, next up, a couple more quick calls. If you still want to join in, there is a few minutes more. So there's 600 plus of you in live chat. Basha is joining the show now. Basha, let us know where in the world you are calling from.
I'm calling from Egypt. Hi, Soph. Hi.
Lovely.
How are you, Basha?
I'm
Hi
fine.
to you on the-
I can't even begin to express what a pleasure it is to be talking to you. Yeah.
Lovely. Regards to you and the Egyptian crew.
Yeah, you have a 57-year-old gunner on your hands here. So, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. God
We
bless.
absolutely love that.
Yes.
Love that. All right. So you take it away. This is your time with Super Kev,
A quick
Basha.
question. I know there's probably many people on the waiting. How worried are you, Kev, about Saka's load in terms of the minutes so far? I know he got 20 minutes off today. Personally, I would have preferred not to see him in the second half. How worried are you?
Are you worried about Saka?
Yeah, he to me, he looked a bit jaded this game and the previous one. Yeah.
Basha, let me just say this.
Yeah.
He's played 2 seasons for Arsenal. He's played in the World Cup with England.
Yep.
There's no worries about this lad's stamina or anything like that. They have all the data. They know what the players are capable of, etc. I'm not worried about it at all. In fact, Basha, I'm pleased that we can play Saka. And as Sophie quite rightly said, we don't need to rely on him to be the match winner all the time.
True.
He can have a good game where some of the others can be the ones who shine. I have no problem with that. And then we could rest him for 20 minutes because you know what? We're going to need him on Thursday.
Definitely.
We're going to definitely need him on Thursday. So I'm not worried about Saka at all.
All right, great stuff.
Right,
all right,
perfect.
Basha, thanks so much for calling in.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. And,
Thanks, Basha.
you know, I'm so lucky. One of my best friends is Egyptian. And let me tell you something, when he cooks, oh, it's the best. Oh, my goodness. Stop. I'm salivating just thinking about it. Basha, don't be a stranger. Call in again soon.
Will do. Take care, guys.
Okay, bye-bye. We've got, let's see. Next up to chat with Super Kev is QA Guna. QA Guna, welcome to the big show. Let us know where in the world you are calling from.
I'm from Essex, Ilford.
All right, Essex, Ilford. We got a little Essex going, Super Kev.
Yeah.
Hi, QA Guna. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah. Just wanted to know, what do you make of the BBC's fiasco that's going on with the commentators and people?
What do we think about the BBC and what's going on?
Yeah,
you know, for us on our show, when there's things like this involved, I mean, you know, we talk about everything and anything here, and we give our opinion on everything. This isn't a legal issue, so it's not like we can't talk about it. I think everyone has to make a decision that they're comfortable with, and one that suits what they believe in, and one that stands up to, you know, kind of what they've said. And if they back that up, good for them. I just want people to be consistent. And I don't particularly appreciate hypocrisy. I think there was an opportunity for someone like Gary Lineker to stand up in Qatar, and he didn't. I think there's an opportunity to stand up stronger and bolder for racism, and sometimes people don't and do. And I appreciate how everyone's come together and they're supporting each other. I would like to see some consistency, not only from people in the game, but from our networks as well. You know, the BBC can't have their cake and eat it. Gary Lineker works for the BBC. He has a contract with the BBC. He's been very vocal about politics. Maybe they're not wanting to hear more about that from him.
But he's always been vocal about politics. So, I don't know why they've done this to him.
Listen,
he
has an opinion. Gary Lineker has an... Yeah, but hold on.
Let Super Kev respond.
Let me finish. You've asked the question. Let me finish.
Okay.
Gary Lineker has an opinion, and he's tweeted his opinion.
Yeah.
Many people have that opinion. Some don't. But you always know there's something behind it when somebody else tries to stop your opinion and they want to take him out the firing line. That's when you know something's going on behind the scenes. This is wrong. Yeah. And no wonder Gary Lineker gets the support from the other players, the ex-players, etc. Because many people feel the same way.
Does that answer your question, QA?
100%.
Excellent. Excellent.
100%.
Thank you so much for joining the show and for asking the tough question. We really appreciate it. Yeah, for me, I be consistent, everybody. That's all I ask. I was on this show and got killed for trying to get support for human rights issues across not only just it's Qatar. We had the show about Newcastle. We've had the show, we talked about Man United. Like, come on, man. Like, let's be consistent and let's not be hypocrites. That's all I say. And free speech, come on. What kind of world are we living in when people can't have an opinion about something? Exactly. What is going on in the universe? Thank God we have a show where we can be vocal about our opinions. As long as you're not abusive, you're not racist, you're not misogynistic, and you're not homophobic in any way, not rude, you are welcome here to voice your opinion. We may agree or disagree, but your voice deserves to be heard. All right, that is all we've got for the phone-in today. Kev, how did you like the post-game phone-in show?
I enjoyed that, actually. Some really good questions. It just goes to show the Highbury Squad community is all over the gaff. From Essex to Egypt. I love it. Brilliant. And everywhere in between.
Beautiful.
I listen, we're gonna mark the manager and the fans. And then I've got one gripe about the game.
Can't wait to hear it. Okay. All right. So my mark for the manager is he gets a 9.5 today. He's managing injuries back well. He's being a sly fox in his press conferences because who knew Trossard was going to come back today? Certainly not Super Kev and certainly not me. I think even when Tom and Kaya spotted them at the stadium, they were like, Gabriel's here. Gabriel Jesus is here. Trossard's here. So, yeah, he gets a 9.5. He's managing this part of the business very well. Long may it continue. The pressure and stress is on. And I tell you something, and Super Kev, I'd like you to underline this just a little bit here. When you have to go after Man City, and this is going to happen for as long as we're in the Europa League now, and play on a Sunday when they play on a Saturday, and you keep getting the results, you reverse the psychology a little bit and put the pressure on them.
Of course,
because the pressure is on us to perform after they win, and we keep doing it. And that, to me, has to come down to what is happening in training and the management, and Kev will underline that. But I think the mental side of it so far, Kev, I'm very impressed with. Mikel gets a 9.5 for how he's managing the squad, injuries, and his subs continue to improve, albeit a little late with Saka today. I like it.
Sophie, I think because of the European game midweek, I give Arteta a 10. Because we still got to come out the traps, Soph, and we've got to perform at the Cottage where they've been very, very strong this season. And let's be honest, if the score was 5-0 today, it still would have been pretty soft on Fulham because we created that many chances. And I give him a 10 because he got the job done right. The team were well prepared. Everybody was on it. And we got Jesus on the pitch. That, to me, is a 10 performance from Mikel Arteta, for sure. How about the fans, Soph?
10, 15, 20, multiply it by infinity.
10 asterisk. Because you know what? The fan base could hear you from the start to the finish. All the songs were coming out. It's just, you know what? It's an absolute pleasure. I weren't even working. I could enjoy the game today. And I was just there nodding along, singing along. I thought it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So 10 asterisk, which is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever you want.
Yeah, they were brilliant. Tell me if you can hear this real quick. No?
No.
You can't. That's a shame.
No, can't hear it.
That's a shame because my favorite song that they were singing today was LA, LA, LA. I mean, I know we've interpreted it, but most fans are interpreting Saliba and our Mikel song now. They sang that one loud and proud. And it's not an easy one to remember all the lyrics to, right? But I love that so much. I mean, Just brilliant stuff. Long may it continue. Brilliant.
My one gripe, Soph.
What is it, Kev?
And listen to me, good squaddies. Muzz, Muzz, yes, we are top of the league. And we have got the best fans in the Premier League, 100%. But I've got one gripe. We are not clinical enough.
I've been waiting for this.
We got to be more clinical. We get all those chances, guys. And I know the team want to score, but we've got to be more clinical. We've got to eat away at that goal difference as well, because I don't want to leave anything to chance, Soph. Don't want to leave anything to chance. We should have beat them minimum 5 today. We beat them 3, but we should be 5 or 6 today, Soph. Because do you know what? If that's Man City put them to the sword. 5, 6, 7. You know that. And I know we're not Man City, but if we're going to be challenging and looking to take them on, we've got to score at a fast rate as well. We've got to score. So it's not a big gripe. It's just a little observation that I think we're not clinical enough. We've got to get more clinical. That's all. I love Arsenal. I love what Arsenal are doing. But you know what? That ruthless streak to kill teams. First half, it should have been 4-0. 4-0 at halftime. Slap up. We're going at 3. Still, at the end, it should have been 5. So, come on, Arsenal.
I like the gripe. I like the gripe because it's fair. It's not nitpicky. It's fair. Xhaka could have scored. Jesus could have scored. Martinelli could have scored. Odegaard could have had a brace easily. You're right, Kev. You got to be clinical. But here's what I also love is that, once again, different goal scorers. You know, this is the beauty of the new Arsenal but you're right. There's still, even though we've got the wealth of different goal scorers, they're still missing some really great chances. And at some point that could bite you in the bum. And we don't want that. By
the way, I've got to say, William Saliba, if you'd have scored that goal, by the way, I would have been doing this in a sombrero. Let me tell you. Well, I mean, he just goes from strength to strength. Sorry, I forgot to say that when we were doing the marks, but
that's okay.
That run and that chop and then the shot. So how exciting is he as a centre-back?
Well, all I know is I have this picture on deck always. Always on deck.
Yes. But I would have been doing the show like that, I tell you.
If he scores a screamer before the end of the season, Kev will actually win.
I'll have to get the sombrero and the tash out.
Oh, it's so funny. Absolutely gold. We love it. And QA Guna, thanks for calling in, and we appreciate your question, and we appreciate your 10 out of 10 as well. Just because I'm going to play it anyway. It's our show. We do what we want here. There you go, everyone. Super Kev, what do you want the troops to know? We'll be back live tomorrow night with some good subject matters on our top 5 talking points for Monday Madness. That's all we got time for today. Enjoy your Sunday from me, and I hand it over to Super Kev to take us out.
Yeah, do you know what I want the Gooners to know? Listen, we are in the running. That's a dozen games. No, now 1 down, 11 games to go. Enjoy the moments, enjoy the wins. We've just realized we've just got stronger. Jesus is back is back. Trossard, Jesus, Eddie's not even around. We're stronger now, everybody. So tell your loved ones you love them. Reach out to a friend. And most of all, love yourself and look after yourself. And fourth, least but not least, Magic Mike, happy birthday. Squaddies, We love you and at ease, squaddies. We're still top of the league. At ease.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.